London Central, Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone this morning is Joey Long. She is the director of the DeWitt County Museum and C.H. Moore Homestead. Joey, it is good to see you. How are you this fine day?
I'm very good, thank you.
Very good. Well, let's dive into, Joey. Usually January, I enjoy this with our guests. We take a look back at the year that was in 2025, and we look ahead to 2026 as well. You were telling me before we got started, 2025 was rather eventful for the museum. What do you have for us? What's going on?
It certainly was. And you realize that, as the year goes by, but then if you sit down like I did yesterday and actually list off all of the notable things, it's pretty incredible, the list that I came up with. So in the spring of 25, the museum opens in April in the spring season. During those months that we were closed, we were working on restoring, refinishing the floors in the formal parlor and the music room. That was a huge project for us. And so in the spring, then the Museum Association had an open house inviting the public in, to walk through the museum and take a look at those floors. And so that was a really nice event. And then also in the spring, we participated in the Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. The Museum Association likes to participate in community events, and it's a nice, community outreach and a way to let people know about the Museum Association itself, and what we're all about and what we strive to do. We were very well represented in 2025 in the Looking for Lincoln Visitors Guide. So we took out a half-page ad, and, we can say that, we see results from that. People do come to Clinton or come to the museum based on having seen that ad, and but represented not just in the ad. It's a beautiful publication, and not just representing the ad, but also in many of the pages. So interior views of the museum, exterior views, and then also little blurbs here and there. And so that's a nice thing that draws people not just to the museum, but also to our town. And then also in the spring, we welcomed my good dear friend, Guy Fraker. He is a Lincoln historian who has published some very well-received scholarly works on Abraham Lincoln. And he came to the museum and did a presentation about Abraham Lincoln and Anne Rutledge. And it was so well attended. People from across Illinois, people from other Lincoln organizations, people from other museums around Central Illinois attended. It was just a really nice crowd. And then also, people here, from closer at home, we had nearly 100 people who attended that. And then we jumped into the season for the Blue Star Museum program. That's a national program that offers free museum admission for all active military personnel as well as their families. And we've participated in that program for many years. So many years, in fact, that we were this year, or I should say this past year, actually presented with an award recognizing our ongoing participation in that. We also, in partnership with the DeWitt County Farm Bureau, we hosted Ag Day at the museum. And that's when all fourth graders that are in the Clinton School District come out and spend the day learning about agriculture of the past and where we are now and where we're headed in the future with that. So that's a great program. It's been going on for years. That then led us into the annual quilt show in June. I love that event. I love all of the quilts. I love the fact that it's never the same event twice. And I love that it relies so much on community participation, people from the community coming in, loaning their quilts and allowing everyone to enjoy them. Then in July, we unveiled the Picture Perfect project. So more than 40 images we had on display on the gallery wall, as well as throughout the mansion just during that month of July, having all of them out, and it upped our daily admissions by 60%. People were truly interested in that. And then we did a presentation called The History of Honey. It was also a honey tasting. That was by Amber Rutledge. Then, of course, we moved into the Apple and Pork Festival, and then participated in Museum Store Sunday, which is it's like a national movement all across America to try to encourage shoppers to shop in museum stores to help those different museums, financially. And then Free Santa Night was in the Carriage Barn on the day after Thanksgiving, followed by 2 nights of carriage rides drawn by the horses through the streets of Clinton in the evenings, 4 candlelight tours, and we welcomed several group tours and hundreds of people through the doors for daily tours.
Big year, Joey. I know the Picture Perfect project was quite the undertaking for the museum. How has that been received? And if I'm not mistaken, that exhibit is now down, correct?
We ended up with so many that we cannot display all of them on that big gallery wall at one time. So there are, I think, 38 of them are up now. Some are set aside. Others I put in other exhibits, to help, with those exhibits. So it'll change and rotate. They will always be up, just not always the same ones, or maybe not used in the same context when they're exhibited.
Okay. Gotcha. Very good. Well, that was, like we said, a huge undertaking and really quite the opportunity, right? Thanks to a grant, if I remember correctly.
No grant at all, Seth. Actually, thanks to the people that stepped up and sponsored these.
Oh, okay.
So it was out of the goodness of people's hearts who saw the value in the project and stepped up and sponsored a photograph for $100 each, which allowed us not only to make, the reproduction image to be on display, but also goes towards the archival materials that we need to be able to safely store the originals, to create the digital file for them. It was a wonderful project. It really was.
Sure. Very good. Of course, the Apple and Pork Festival weekend, Joey, really, if I remember right, ideal weather for that weekend, a pretty good crowd once again. Apple and Pork Festival continues to just be a very nice, wholesome, and successful festival. How about that?
Yeah, it really does. And of course, we get a lot of feedback, the following week or two after the festival from people. They'll send an email or a call and usually it's not something like I lost my wallet or can't find my keys, although we do get a lot of that. But often it's just people calling and saying, I really enjoyed my time there. Keep doing what you're doing. We're so glad that this festival has become a tradition for us. Really nice words of compliment. And we're growing. We're still growing. They added even more flea market spaces to the flea market area. Nice. Last year as well. So yeah, still going strong there.
Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead, our guest on the phone here for this morning. Again, the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Joey, with the museum, one thing that you deserve a lot of credit for as the director of the museum is just continuing to give people a reason to come in on a yearly basis, whether it's the programs with folks like Guy Fraker, whether it's the exhibit like the photo project, and forgive me, I'm blanking on the exact name of it at the moment. But anyways, it's just things like that you keep fresh in the museum for folks to keep on coming out for, and you deserve a lot of credit for that.
Well, I appreciate those kind words. Thank you so much.
Sure. Joey, did you talk about attendance? You might have, and I missed it, so forgive me if that's the case.
No, I didn't, and I have not tallied that up yet this year. So
okay.
That is something that I look forward to doing.
Yeah.
We're still holding our own as far as daily attendance. I do know that. And we had far more group tours scheduled this year than we had in the past. But I guess this is just an example maybe of how these things work. So we ended up with not one, but 2 group tours as a result of Guy Fraker's presentation that he made last year. because it brought people to our museum that hadn't been there before. And then a couple of them, as a result of that, arranged for group tours to the museum.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah, very good. Very good. Joey, I look at the clock. We're coming up on a break. Anything in 2025 we did not touch on or you wanted to expand on that we haven't hit on yet? Anything of that nature?
No, can't really think of anything.
Sure, very good. Well, let's go ahead and break here, Joey, and come back with some more. DeWitt County Museum Director Joey Long on the phone with us here for this morning. The morning show continues on after a break on WHOW.
WHOW.
WEZC, your easy choice, 95.9 FM, is the voice of the Monticello Sages. Also streamed and archived at DeWittDailyNews.com. Hear live play-by-play football, boys and girls basketball, baseball and softball, all season long. And a best of broadcast every Saturday at noon. All brought to you by Kirby Medical Center, First Mid, and Stewart Family Hardware, all in Monticello.
Hello, I'm Dr. Seuster with Covenant Animal Clinic. We're thrilled to sponsor the Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Simply look for the icon beside the masthead and you'll discover all the lovable cats and dogs at DeWitt County Animal Shelter, hoping to find their perfect family. While you're there, you can even complete an adoption application right online. Please help us share the message about these wonderful animals who are ready for a loving home. After all, a happy pet is a healthy pet.
Here are the contest rules for our stations. We allow one person per household to win any prize from the radio stations in a 30-day period. Unless otherwise stated, all prizes are to be picked up within 2 weeks at the studios inside the Big Red Barn at 2980 U.S. Highway 51, 4 miles south of Clinton. Our office hours are 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays. Any cash prize is mailed within 30 days of winning, only if cash winners call our business line within 2 weeks of their name being drawn to provide their mailing address. Employees and their families of regional radio are not eligible to participate or win any contest.
If the flu's got you down, the Warner Hospital and Health Services Walk-In Clinic can help you feel better fast. CEO Paul Skowron inviting you to make us your backup plan to better health. Find out more by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, C.H. Moore Homestead, on the phone with us here for this morning. Well, Joey, we've recapped 2025, so let's look ahead to 2026. What are you looking forward to this year?
Oh, we have a lot to look forward to this year. The events committee just met yesterday, so these things are, not all of the details are worked out, but here's the current plan at the time. 2026 is a special year for us at the Homestead, as well as all across America. It's the 250th anniversary that we'll be celebrating. So a lot of these events that they are planning fall under America 250 at the Homestead. It's a series of events that celebrate this milestone occasion, and we will be starting from, when we open in the spring and having events celebrating America 250 at the Homestead all the way up to the end of the year. So I'm really excited about it. First thing, this is quite exciting. We have in the music room, we have C.H. Moore's piano, and we know from the serial numbers that it dates to the 1880s. It doesn't play, and it hasn't played for years. And one of my board members is working with a gentleman who is an expert in restoring old pianos, and he is actually working on getting it to the point where the piano can be played. And so sometime this spring, we are hoping to have a special event where people can come to the museum and listen to C.H. Moore's piano play and serve a little punch and some wine and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I think that will be quite special. Just, a special twist on music, right? So when was the last time anyone heard that piano play? I'm really looking forward to that. And then in May, we're going to be inviting my friend Guy Fraker back again for another presentation. And that presentation focuses on Abraham Lincoln's reverence for the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And he's taken a very interesting spin on this. And I think people will find it very interesting and very appropriate for the America 250 at the Homestead.
Yeah.
And then the quilt show this year, that's an annual event. But the spin on it this year is we're going to be looking for quilts that are red, white, and or blue, or have a patriotic or a colonial theme. So I think that's going to be really neat. And in July, we're going to be having an ice cream social. We're going to be having a fiddle and banjo duo playing music during that time. They're called Peaches and Bacon. They're fantastic. My husband and I just stumbled upon them at New Salem last year and thought, oh my goodness, these people are wonderful. So I'm thrilled that we're going to be able to have them here in Clinton, and everybody can come and enjoy them. And on that same day, in addition to the ice cream social and the music, we're also going to be offering carriage rides. Carriage rides when it's not cold, Seth. Carriage rides in the warmth.
What an idea. What an idea,
Yeah.
Joey. Yeah.
Now, we will still be having carriage rides offered, during our holiday time in the winter. But we just thought that this, doing it in the summer might be, a fun new twist. And then in August, we're hoping to have a Rhodes Scholar from the Illinois Humanities Council come and do a presentation. History of Illinois in 10 objects. And so that will be very interesting. These objects come from the Illinois State Museum. But then the twist that I love about this, again, anytime that you have audience participation or, community can, contribute in some way, the audience will be welcome to also bring their own items or photos of their items and tell the audience about their historical items. So that'll be really neat. And then, of course, we'll go into the usuals after that, the festival and Santa Night and Candlelight tours. We're also going to be offering or welcoming sponsorships in the amount of $250, celebrating America 250 at the Homestead. So hopefully there'll be some individuals or groups or businesses that would be interested in helping us celebrate America 250 at the Homestead and offsetting, some of the, cost involved with that. And of course, those sponsors would receive recognition. And one thing that we're planning on is using the signage, the big signage on the corner of the museum grounds at the intersection of Center and Woodlawn Streets, and put up a big banner, America 250 at the Homestead, thanking our sponsors and listing all of them. And that would be up, pretty much all year. And so that would give our sponsors a lot of recognition for them helping us celebrate this momentous year.
Sure. Joey, you have a lot going on this year. Holy cow.
I know. But you know what? I am so excited about it. Just celebrating this special milestone in our nation's history, and just being able to bring so many interesting things to our community for people to enjoy, and maybe even reaching people who maybe don't think that they're so interested in maybe history. They might think it's boring, but I promise when you come and hear Mr. Fraker speak, or if you come to this event we have where people can share their stories of their objects and whatnot, or to finally get this piano playing, I truly believe that it will draw people in and maybe enhance their interest or trigger an interest that they didn't even know that they had in history.
Sure.
And surely it will help people see that, the Museum Association continues to strive, to accomplish our mission statement, which is to preserve and promote DeWitt County's history and heritage. And that's what it's all about.
And I tell you what, I really like the idea of the red, white, and blue and the Star Spangled Banner theme quilt show. I really like that. That's a nice touch.
I do too. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what people pull out of their trunks and their attics and their closets and bring into us. It's going to be wonderful.
And the ice cream social, if I remember right, I could be very dead wrong on this, Joey. I feel like that was a very popular program that you all did a while back. And it I mean, obviously with COVID, a lot of things took a hiatus. That felt like one of those, and now it's back. Am I remembering that right?
You are, but Seth, it goes even back farther before you or before me. That was an annual thing that the museum did every year decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of went away, and then we brought it back. But yes, COVID's changed a lot of things. And so it'll have a little different twist to it than in the past. But I think this is great, and I think it's really a neat thing to be able to do this. An ice cream social, just an opportunity for the community to come out and share in the celebratory spirit of America 250 with us, have a little ice cream, some old-fashioned entertainment, enjoy the carriage rides, and just enjoy, coming together to support the museum and just appreciate being Americans.
Joey, I wish we could go further. Unfortunately, I am out of time with you. How do folks learn about all things DeWitt County Museum and all the happenings in 2026?
They can go to our website, and that is chmorehomestead.org. The most up-to-date information is on our Facebook page, and the Facebook page is CH Homestead and DeWitt County Museum. And then we also have the official Apple and Pork Festival page, or they're welcome to give us a call anytime at the museum. Phone number there is 217-935-6066.
Joey, it's always good to talk with you. Joey Long, director of the DeWitt County Museum, on the phone with us. Network news on the way.
WHOW.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Turns out that Alex Preddy, fatally shot by Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis 5 days ago, had a previous heated encounter with federal agents 11 days earlier.